Hello again YouTube, this is Pure230688 aka BW Angelos, and I'm going to be bringing you my first video that I've posted for a few days now. Sorry for the delay in posting my next video, but the latest patch for Empire totally screwed my game up, so it's taken me a while to get adjusted to it. Not only that, it made all my replays corrupted. Yep, great. Anyway, this is a 1v1 battle between me and SynopticAG, a bloke who also makes commentary videos, and I'll post a link to his page on the information bar. Okay, so I've had to edit out the beginning because it's a very, very long battle. Basically, all that happened is he moved across to attack me and sent a huge force of cavalry around my flank. I countered this by sending my own cavalry around the opposite flank, primarily to get his cavalry to come back, and also to see if he had any hidden units in the back, because I assumed he'd have some hidden units in the trees there, which he does. He has some Bosniak Lancers hidden in there. So basically that was just to, like I said, to get his cavalry back into, so they're all in front of me. I didn't want to have units behind me. Okay, so he starts to redeploy again with his cavalry and his infantry, so I send my long rifles forward to attack his units as they're redeploying. Okay, right in the back where you can see his Bosniaks coming, and I'm a bit of a pansy here. Instead of firing both volleys, one unit fires, killed a few men, everyone runs off. Even though they're miles away, the Bosniaks, but I didn't want to risk them. Yeah, I should have risked them, but I didn't. Anyway. Okay, so this was, as we got a little bit of a lull here, this was the first of two battles between me and Synoptic. I won this one, and then lost. Oh, sorry if I spoilt the ending for you. I won this one, and I lost the other one. So it was pretty even. This one was better, I thought. I got both replays, but I thought this one was better. Anyway, okay, so we've also got some new units in the latest patch, and he is using a lot of them in this battle. I can't remember the name of them properly, but they're light infantry basically. I have some as well. They're called Legion of the United States. They're light infantry, and I can tell you, if you're interested, they're totally rubbish, awful. Really, I'd go to as far as to say they're just pointless units. They look nice with a big funny hat, but that's about it really. You need to stick to basic units like long rifles and light infantry if you want to win battles. Okay, so because my rifleman outranges light infantry, I'm just using hit and run tactics at the moment as his army redeploys. I'm constantly harassing him with my own guys as I shift my line round to look at keep my front facing his units, I should say. He constantly keeps trying to probe me for weaknesses with his cavalry, which means I gotta stay on edge the whole time. I didn't tell Synoptic, but I had watched a lot of his videos before we played this battle, and I knew how aggressive he was. So I decided not to move very far, so he couldn't take any advantage of anything when I was moving around. Okay, so again, there's another lull here as we face off against one another. Again, I'm just using the sneakiness of my men. Annoyingly, they're not so sneaky anymore. The new patch has made it so that light infantry can spot one another from a very long distance. Pretty good, but makes hidden units rubbish. Now I can't sneak them around anywhere. If there is, well, I can sneak them around, but just so long as there's no light infantry in the way. Okay, so he's got tired of waiting now, and he'll soon come at me and start the main battle. Yeah, he has a large force of cavalry. He has 2 militia units, and a lot of those light infantry. I can't remember the name, sorry, and some line infantry, basically. Quite a decent army. I have virtually the same sort of army, actually, bar the fact I have riflemen and he doesn't. I have 5 units of long rifles, 4 or 5 units of Legion of the United States, I cannot remember properly, and 4 or 5 or 6 line infantry regiments. Now here I want to get his cavalry to attack me, so I try and send a bait out, but he doesn't fall for it. I try and send one unit of Legion of the United States, which is light infantry, out on onto my right side back here to make it look vulnerable to a cavalry strike. But I don't know if he knew what I was doing or if he didn't want to attack me. I don't know really. This is a bad move on my part. You can see a lot of my men dying there. I sent them too close to one of those German Prussian light infantry units, and they got shot for being so stupid. That was my mistake. I didn't see him rushing towards me and didn't get my men out of the way. So basically, at the moment, we're just skirmishing with one another. We've each killed a few of the enemy units. I've killed a few of his. He's killed a few of mine. So basically, it's more of a like chess at the moment. Every time he moves a piece, I move a piece. So again, I've just formed a line-up. I think he must have thought I was going to attack him at one point, but I like to skirmish with him to begin with. He sends another unit of cavalry forward. It's like a bait. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to lure his cavalry back to my central line and destroy it basically. With my own cavalry and line infantry, which I can shift from left to right. But as he is quite good, he exploits some weaknesses I present to him. And I only present a few weaknesses, but every time I do, he exploits one of them. So yeah, he's one of the best players I've played on Empire ever, really. And that's saying something because I've played quite a few people, but he was ridiculously good, especially in the second game where he beat me. In that game, I made a hell of a mistake, and I split my force into 4 parts to try and encircle him. But of course, all he had to do then was go after one unit at a time. Okay, so he's advancing at me with all his light infantry. So I got my some of my units into light infantry doctrine, the ones I assume he'll shoot at first, while the others stay in normal mode. He shoots at some of my cavalry as I send them off to the right, because I wanted to try and swamp his units with a cavalry rush, but that didn't work because he saw me and shot them. So I took unnecessary cavalry losses there. Luckily they weren't too many, because I need my cavalry for later on. Okay, I'm just going to let you know that this is... Oh no, hang on, never mind. He sees my 3 long rifles on the edge. Like I was saying, he exploits one weakness. See the gap I left between my line infantry on the left and my others? He exploits it and gets right through that tiny gap and attacks my men. Not only that, he swamps one of my line infantry units. But here, he gets bogged down, and I attack him in melee and then form a square so his cavalry gets stuck. Then I send a legion of United States light infantry round to his flank and shoot him. Shoot his cavalry in the sides. Okay, he's lost his general there. Obviously his general was in one of those cavalry units. Okay, so that's routed one of his cavalry units. But he definitely decimated one of my infantry units. I only managed to get into square at the last second, and that saved it. But I hardly killed any of his cavalry guys. He's got heavy Garde Du Corps, which is a new unit the Prussians can use. It's not a new unit because the French used it, but yeah, it's a new unit for the Prussians to replace the household cavalry, and it's very, very good. As well as the British new heavy cavalry, they can even smash open a square if you use them properly. So yeah, I think they're a bit overpowered, to be honest, because basically these sort of units were just posh men who used to buy their commissions into the army. Then they weren't some sort of elite unit. They were given the best equipment, obviously, but they were just basically a little posh toffs. So yeah, I think they're a bit overpowered, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, right, so again, he's coming forward at me like in a very good order, so I can't exploit any weaknesses at the moment. And he swings one unit of line infantry round his left, round my right, to start like a pincer movement on my guys, to start like trying to outflank them. So I see what he's trying to do, and I send 2 line infantry of my own round that one unit's flank. Okay, now he counters that by turning that unit and then sending another unit round with it. That's 2 line infantry units. So basically, like I was saying, it is exactly like a chess game. I mean, as soon as he moves, I move, and then vice versa, really. That's what I like about these sort of games. We both said no artillery, and we both said we'd meet on the flat area. Just like it's like a test of skill there. Okay, so I'm going to be much more aggressive here than I had been in the opening stages. But unfortunately, this is the end of the first half of the clip. So you can stay tuned for part 2 to see what I'm doing.